Hey guys, Isabella here. We are back for another book review. So for this book review, I am reviewing I Had That Same Dream Again by Yoru Sumino. So what this book description says was, what dreams may come, an unhappy girl who engages in self-harm, a woman ostracized by society, and an older woman looking to live out her twilight years in peace. What could three such different people have in common? That's what grade schooler Koyanagi Nanoka is trying to find out. Assigned by her teacher to find what happiness means to her, Nanoka sets out to get to know these three strangers, and through them perhaps know herself too. So I think for the rating of the book that I posted on my Instagram, I have an Instagram dedicated by the books that I read to help me read more. So you can go follow that in the description. I don't think I've put that there yet. I might have to check it out real quick. But I think I gave this book a 7 out of 10. And I'll tell you why. I didn't really know what to expect at first when reading it, and it is classified as like a Japanese anime-esque book. It was really good to read. I did really enjoy reading it. Just because I also didn't know like what to expect. That's the one thing I like about like most books kind of like this, where it's like even kind of the description kind of gives you an idea of what it could be about, but at the same time give you little to no explanation of what it's about until you begin reading it. And that's really cool with books like these, and I really actually enjoy some of that. But yeah, it pretty much just goes through and explains how this little girl, I think she's literally, it's a grade schooler, so I guess she's like 8 years old, and she yeah, okay, I put it on there, good. Just making sure. So yeah, I would say like 8 years old, very young, but she's very like has a good like fighting spirit and is bold and confident, and it's funny because you don't really get to know much about her life until shit starts to happen, because then you get to know, how, like, why she is the way that she is, and how she deals with all these things as a grade schooler, and then come to find out, oh, her parents work all the time, they're never around, and even though it's something like that, she always manages to, keep fighting every day and, try to put a smile on other people's faces and kind of be that sort of person. Which is interesting, because if that were to happen to me, I would be depressed and not want to die and not want to live. So, I mean, good for her. But, yeah, no, it was a very good and interesting read. It only has 11 chapters, but by the thickness of the book, you can see that it does drown out quite a lot. I do like that they do give you like another little like chapter of another of their book, which is really cool. I haven't read it yet, probably because I think I already have this book in my recommendations on Amazon. But yeah, and as soon as you keep reading, it kind of gets more mysterious, because there's there's kind of a lot of like random things that makes you think like, what? A lot of confusing things, but I think the one thing that'll confuse you the most is reading on, as soon as you read on more about this girl and the people that she meets who do these things, the three people that they talk about, suddenly it's just like, as soon as they found their thing to happiness, it's like, oh, they disappeared, like nothing ever happened, and they're never talked about again. And you're confused as to why that happens, and then as soon as you read the ending, which is why I gave it a 7 out of 10 or 6 out of 10, one of those two, I think I gave it a 7, is because it's a cliche ending. Now, I'm not dissing on cliche endings. I have for one of my horror books planned out as a cliche ending, but I know it's a cliche ending for most people that really fucking hate this type of cliche ending, because again, I had that same dream again. It's pretty much in the title. As soon as you read the ending of it, I'm not going to give out any spoilers about it, but as soon as you get to like chapter 11 and you're just like, so all this time, really? So yeah. But it wasn't bad. I really did enjoy it. And I really do like the art style of the cover, which is really nice. But yeah, I mean, there's also a lot of like very detailed paragraphs in here about like, oh, what happiness is, or what happiness could be for some people, or like why people do, you know, do the things that they do. There's a lot of good, like, inspiring stuff in here that I have posted about on my Instagram story about it, because it's very good. I like that there's a lot of like inspiration, and there's a lot of it's very inspiring, and it was a very nice read. Even if it is very thick with just 11 chapters, I mean, it's hell, if I were to start publishing, like, it would probably be not as thick, but, you know, all my stories go to 21 chapters, depending on whatever. But I still don't even think it would come out this thick. I mean, it had 230 pages. I think all my stories range out to be about 200 pages, so that's about, from start to finish, that would only be about that thick, which is normal. I mean, I have books thinner than this, you know, like, I have so many books that aren't even, like, I think they have, like, 10 to 15 chapters, so I think all in all, I'm doing pretty good for writing, but nothing bad about that either. I mean, it makes for a good, easy read, and it like varies in descriptive terms, which is very nice, even, like, for short chapters like that, but yeah, I mean, I would suggest, if you haven't already, go read this for yourself. You'd be surprised. You know, at the first glance, there's a lot of people that are just like, it looks very stupid, anime, whatever, blah, blah, whatever. But you don't know a book until you read it. Even if you look at the description and it doesn't look like it's something that's interesting to you, I would still highly suggest it anyway, because it's like, you never know until you read it. That's what I'm like with most books. I don't judge a book by its cover. I don't judge it by the description. I'm just like, oh, if that looks interesting, I'll give it a read, you know? That's maybe why I have so many fucking books, is because I've enjoyed every single book that I've owned. So, yeah. So be sure to go get yourself one of these. I think this was $15, so it's quite spendy, because I think I got this on my birthday. So, yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was pretty good. I enjoyed it a lot, and I really liked the main character. She was really funny, and sometimes I wish I was as fucking bold and confident as this little girl, but you know me. But yeah, that is basically it. The next book I am going to be reading, I don't have in my hands right now, and I can't get up because I have my cat right here. It's Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Good Girl's Guide to Murder book. So, for that one, it's a book by Holly Jackson. I have so many of her fucking books as well. There's 3 books in the series, and the description says, hold on. The description says, everyone in Fairview knows the story. Pretty and popular high school senior Andy Bell was murdered by her boyfriend, Sal Singh, who then killed himself. It was all anyone could talk about. And 5 years later, Pip sees how the tragedy still haunts her town. But she can't shake the feeling that there was more than what happened that day. She knew Sal when she was a child, and he was always so kind to her. How could he have possibly been a killer? Now a senior herself, Pip decides to re-examine the closed case for her final project, at first just to cast doubt of the original investigation. But soon she discovers a trail of dark secrets she might actually prove that Sal is innocent, and the line between past and present begin to blur. Someone in Fairview doesn't want Pip digging around for answers, and now her life might be in danger. So, and then the next one is Good Girl, Bad Blood, and then the last one is called As Good as Dead. And then, so I'm going to be reading just the first one next because I don't have the second or the third book yet. But what I've been doing is picking out all the books that I own in a cup because I have so many books and I never can really tell which one I want to read next. So I thought I would do a fun little game of just pulling from a tab, and that was the one I pulled. I had my brother pull one next. So the next read after that one will be How to Make Friends in the Dark, which is by Kathleen Glasgow. And I have her previous books. What was it? Kathleen Glasgow. I have her other books, Girl in Pieces, and that was a really fucking good book, despite how triggering and emotional it made me. But I have her two other books, How to Make Friends in the Dark and You'd Be Home by Now. I just got that book yesterday, so I'll do another book haul because I think I have a good chunk of, books. So yeah, that one will be next, and I'm to have my brothers pick a book and all that good stuff. So yeah. So stay tuned for those, and I hope you all enjoyed. Everything's down in the description, and I love you guys. I'll see you later.